Good morning and welcome to The Daily 3.
The Daily 3.
Where we write it down and make it happen.
That's right. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
All the time.
We definitely write it down. Well, sometimes we write it down. And sometimes we make it happen.
We always sometimes write it down and make it happen.
So what do we got up first? This morning review from yesterday? How'd your Daily 3 go? How did the rest of your Daily 3 go from yesterday?
But okay. I got sucked into web design again.
Yeah?
So, but I feel like I made a lot of good progress. And so I'm almost there. I'm almost done. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hit ship today.
Hit ship?
And then
make it live?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I don't think people do not realize. People do not realize how much
goes into building a website
and making a website look good.
Oh, yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of time.
Lots and lots of time.
Hours and hours of my life gone.
It really is. And yeah. So, but I'm learning a lot from it. So
yeah.
And I've thought about multiple times, like, is this a sunk cost fallacy I have about, like, should I finish this?
What does that mean? Sunk cost fallacy. What is that?
Like, I put so much time in, so I think it's more valuable than it is.
Sure. Because kind of this idea of, well, I've already spent weeks of my life doing this. I should just
stick to it. Yeah. Rather than if I came at it and I said, and I were to look at it and I say, it's that same idea when someone has poured lots of money in their used car, and they're like, "Oh, I've already spent this much in it.
I've already put $8,000 into this vehicle.
Therefore, it's worth $8,000." But that's what they think. But then, right. But if they were to see that car on a lot versus another car, would they really think it's worth $8,000?
Yeah, they'd be like, "There's no way I'm paying $8,000."
Yeah, exactly. So, sunk cost fallacy is the fallacy believing that the time that you've put in increases the worth of it.
That's really good. I have never really or seldom think about work in that way.
Oh,
I mean, like I probably do, but I don't realize it.
Yeah,
I'm not aware of this until now. I was like, oh, there are probably things I do as well, where I'm like, well, I've already got so many hours in this, I should just finish it, when it's probably actually a better thing to just know when to quit.
Yeah, and maybe switch to something else. So I've thought about doing that of like, do I just start a Squarespace and have it?
Make it super simple.
Yeah, I think the fallacy there, though, too, is thinking like, I won't have to edit anything or I won't have to change anything.
You still will.
I know, exactly.
Just so you know.
I know. Yeah, so I think, so I've thought about that. That's crossed my mind where I'm just like, okay. And I think part of it comes down to is I just underestimate the time it takes to make a website how I want to look. So I either like multiple things at play. I either have to lower my expectations.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm doing. Seeing like, hey, that's good enough. And also have to raise my expectations of actually the time it takes.
Yeah.
So, but I'm almost done.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and there's certain things that I like are very important to me with it. So, and part of that is that I will have the ability to have people create accounts who will help translate, and then like take control and like translate content and stuff like that. And
really,
yeah,
it's almost like open source translation in a sense. Or no, that's not what open source is.
In some ways, yeah. Where I guess I can open it up to. I mean, not exactly what it means, but like, yeah, I can open it up to other people. And for Squarespace, I would have to. I looked into that briefly, and I'd have to create like an entire duplicate site.
Just for that.
Yeah, just for that. So I was like, yeah. So I'm sticking with WordPress and everything.
Nice.
And almost there.
That's a neat idea.
Yeah. So then I'm going to start recruiting people. So
yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of provides a filter. Translation, I realized, this is interesting. Translation provides a filter for the quality of what I want to write and produce.
What do you mean by that? Or how does it filter it?
Because it makes you think, is what I'm going to write, or is what I'm going to have other people write good enough that we're going to translate it
into other languages?
Into other languages for other people.
Because there's a lot of work to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah?
absolutely.
Wow.
You know, I think it's so much easier to, if I'm just shipping stuff, which and there might be a place for that too, where it's like, okay, maybe just like Seth Godin and create something every day. Just put it out there, whether it's short or long or a list or a quote or anything might be like that. So I think that might be part of it. But then for like the more core like articles or resources that I actually think will help church leaders have like resilience in ministry, of like what's of then those things those things through that filter, like, oh, I want
them to be high quality.
Yeah, I want them to be high quality and researched and so yeah.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that.
I guess, yeah.
Nice. What else do you have? Or how else did the rest of your daily 3 go?
Oh yeah.
So you got sucked in by the website.
That was it. That was good.
Nice. So you didn't even touch the other ones.
Oh, that's all I had was the website basically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I was just working on different parts of the website. So I got the majority of it done. So a few more today. Yeah. So I'm gonna jump into today then. So the daily 3 for me today are one, finish my minimum viable product for the website. Send out my 3-week update, and then I also have I'm practicing coaching with a church planting couple later this afternoon. So I'm excited I've never coached a couple.
Okay.
So I'm excited to try that, to see what it's like. So we're going to meet up in the afternoon. Yeah.
Nice.
That's my daily 3.
Well done.
How'd it go for you yesterday?
Yeah, from yesterday, it went pretty good. I figured out more stuff with the business I'm looking at purchasing and decided to do it, to pull the trigger. I don't know if I've said that yet. Yeah, we're going to put it in the crosshairs and pull the trigger on it.
Take her down.
See how it goes. So I still got some stuff I got to finish up from that, but for the most part, I spent a lot of time on that yesterday, and so that was good. I think everything that I had intended to get done yesterday regarding that I did, so that was pretty good. And then what else did I have yesterday? I believe I had updating some billing information from different things and doing some admin and accounting and stuff, and I got that done, so that was good. And that was honestly the thing I was like, I'm going to put this off because I don't want to do it, and I've already been putting it off for like 2 weeks. So it was like, and then I just sat down and did it. I was like, all right, this is going to suck because I don't want to. I'm not motivated to, but we'll just do it. So I mean, part of that was taking a nap. I felt great after that.
Oh, that's right.
A little while after we recorded the podcast, it was like, all right, like here's a small win. Like I'm making stuff happen, crossing stuff off my list for the day, and then kept going on that. And then I was just like, all right, what's the next thing? Oh crap, it's that thing I'm not looking forward to.
Was that the billing stuff and the admin stuff?
Yeah. And I was like, I'll just do it anyway. And I forget sometimes how I actually do like doing it, because I think the numbers sort of give me a pulse on like, oh, how is this business actually doing? Or like, how is its like financial health? And so I got a little distracted from the billing side of things and was actually looking at more of the like financials and stuff.
Sure, you gravitated to what you were kind of gave you energy.
Yeah, exactly. But I realized it's helpful to see the two together because they affect one another. There's a relationship between the two. And so I think realizing that gave me a little more motivation to be like, oh, okay, here, I'll page through all these, wade through the deep waters of the invoices to figure this out. So that was good. And then the third thing I had was working on the basement remodel project. Didn't touch that. So
you failed.
I did. But yeah, ran out of time for the day.
Yeah.
Oh, and then prepping for small group. I got that done. That was the other thing I think I might have mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So
did that go well?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. I realized I pretty much started prepping for it. Was super tired. Wasn't sure even what I was gonna. Yeah. So then that's where I'm like, I hit the trough. I'm gonna take a nap, and then I just started over afterwards, and that was pretty good. I was like, okay, now I feel good about this because I understand what in the heck I'm reading and thinking about and gonna say, and so yeah, it's pretty decent. And our group is really easy to lead. Like they ask really good questions. They have conversation. There's no like awkward pulling of teeth to get people to talk.
Yeah.
There's a little bit sometimes, but you just
There
ask
always
more
is, yeah.
questions. And it's fine. We only got halfway through the material, so it's like, all right, I didn't even have to prep the last half. I could've just not done
Boom.
it. But yeah, so that went well. And then today, for my daily 3, I'm trying to, and I think I might have mentioned this previously, but I'm trying to look at my quarterly and annual goals and actually pick, or my weekly 3 and make my daily 3 in light of what's going to help me like move the ball forward in achieving those things. And so one of the things I have as an annual goal is to read through the Bible in a year. And I've been falling behind on that.
Nice.
So for that one today, I'm just like, all right, catch up on Bible reading. And instead of just saying catch up, I decided to be more specific. And
Yes.
I'm going for 5 sections today.
Yes.
Which a section is about 3 chapters. So I'm going to try to knock out 15 chapters. I've already
doable.
I've already done 6.
Boom.
So I'm like, all right, we're slightly over a third of the way there. I think it's doable. Like if I just do that at every mealtime, like breakfast, then take a break at lunch and do it, and then dinner, it's like, boom, there's a day. And then if I do that for a couple of days in a row, it's like, I'll be back on track. So
you can get back on track today if you wanted.
I really could if I wanted to.
I guess if you just wanted to check off the boxes, but if you want to think through what you're reading too.
Yeah, I might take it at a slower pace. So I think I'll just take the next 3 days. And if I do this for the next 3 days, I'll be right where I need to be.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my plan on that. So that's one of my daily 3. The other one is finish up some office type stuff. Just like organizing. No, that's not really what I mean. Let me actually,
dude, I need to
read what I wrote.
I need to organize my room sometime.
Yeah.
I've just created a path through the pile of stuff that I have not unpacked yet.
That's how I feel with the basement project.
I'm so ashamed.
I've just got like building materials and tools everywhere in like multiple rooms, and I'm like, I can walk through it to get to what I need.
Oh my gosh, that's when you know, right? It's like I'm just walking. These things have now become a permanent fixture.
Yeah, it's like, oh no. So
you can do it.
That's funny. Yeah, we should both. Yeah.
Clean up at some point.
I need to make some calls, follow up with some insurance stuff to get some quotes for the business I'm buying. Kind of figure out some of that, the insurance, legal aspects, financial aspects of some of it, getting bank accounts set up, sort of researching different plans for insurance packages and stuff like that I'll need.
Yeah.
So figuring that stuff out. I want to make some calls and do that today. And then my third thing is work on that basement. And that is going to be the kind of the big thing, I think, for the next month for me, because I want to try to get that completely done.
You can do it
by July 2nd when I take over this other company and start running that. So I want to have this off my plate at that point. So I want to push through, do some video recording of some of the stuff for YouTube. I'm going to try.
Love it.
I'm probably just going to record. I'm just going to record, and then I don't even think I'm going to waste time downloading the footage until I'm full and I have no more room. So that way it's like, because when I'm working, one of the things that I think will be good about doing what I'm doing in that company is some of it will be a lot of office work, and some of it there's actually a lot of downtime between waiting for people to call or clients to respond when you're emailing them. So it's like I could be editing footage then.
Gotcha.
So I'm a little like hesitant to do that.
Why?
And I've realized this because I've downloaded all of the footage I have so far.
Right.
It's like a lot of stuff.
It's a lot.
And the first stuff I did is really, really bad. So I recognize, right, that as I am shooting all of these different videos,
it gets better.
I'm growing.
Yeah. And
so I realized the most recent stuff I've done is way better than what I did 2 months ago, to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to do anything with what I did 2 months ago, because I look at it and I'm just like,
you have to though.
I know. I'm just like, wow, this is really bad.
Ship it.
Like I've learned a lot since then. And so it's like, I think what would be better is shooting the video, getting the footage, then taking it all the way through the post-production process of editing it, and then actually producing it, like launching it, putting it out there and seeing how it does. And then using the feedback that I get from that to determine what changes I make to the next one, right? Because instead it's like, I'm just going to take like 4 months worth of footage, batch all of it, and then I mean, it's just, I think as far as like the iterative process of creating anything, it's like I should take this from start to completion, do a full iteration rather than just like little bits and spurts. And then I don't know. So as I've been thinking about that, I'm like, yeah, that probably would have been a better way to do
do little iterations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All the way through to.
Would have taken more time in some ways.
Yeah. But I think it would have helped me develop and grow more creatively as far as like getting feedback on the process and getting to see the actual final result.
And also editing, probably.
Yeah.
Of learning how fast to edit stuff. And
right. And like once you edit something and have an actual video, you realize once you're at that point, once you launch a video, you look back and you go, oh, I should have shot this differently.
Yeah.
Or this would have been, if I would have shot this way, it would have been a lot more helpful to the editing part of the process.
Oh my gosh.
Or the audio.
You can save so much time in editing in post-production if you shoot it or record it right.
To begin with.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Totally. And I'm not looking forward to some of the very first things I did because all I did was just let it run and I've got like a half hour of footage when I probably need like a minute and a half out of there.
Oh gosh.
So it's like it's gonna take a while to slice up and figure out. But yeah, so but I mean given the
Hey, live and learn.
Yeah, given the time constraints and given what
you failed
figuring it out, right? So it's a learning curve. So it's like the next project I decided to take on like this, where I'm like, I'm going to make a series of videos about the whole thing. Hopefully we'll go far better.
Yeah.
So
that'd be what? Yes. Okay. I was thinking of a question and I started listening again.
Well, thanks for listening.
Hey, you bet.
I appreciate it.
Okay. I wonder if that will, let me quiet down, fans. I wonder if that will show up. I'm excited to see.
If the audio picks up.
My computer just turned on, like,
noise.
Started taking off with the fan.
Yeah,
like
man. It's like a miniature airport, a landing strip, this table.
Okay. Well, here's my question. What do you have to do in how do I ask this? Maybe what or how? How do you have to film so that you can get all the footage you need and complete the project by July 2nd?
So how do I do it?
Yeah. Not like how do you, like what do you have to do when filming? Like what, how are you going to make that happen? What's your plan of attack?
Yeah.
How do you film in such an efficient manner?
That's really
so
good.
You get all the footage you need, but you still actually complete. Because I could see one of the two canceling out the other and both taking time.
Yeah.
Like what action do you have to take that would make the most impact in letting you?
I think making a shot list. Because I realized I'm far more efficient when I do that. Because when I am, and sometimes this is great, but when I'm behind a camera, I get lost in my head.
What, like in front of a camera or behind a camera?
Behind it. Well, I guess it's weird because I'm filming myself, so I'm also in front of it.
Okay.
In front of it, but when I'm like filming, there are certain things about that process where I'm just like coming up with ideas all the time. What if I shot this way? Or I should get this from this angle. And sometimes that's really good because it produces a really good creative result. I just feel like I'm in a creative zone where I go, how can I capture this moment in a way that's unique, in a way that's compelling, in a way that's going to like just be really well done. And that's part of when I think of like I don't know what you call it, a unique proposition, or what is like the unique thing that your YouTube channel has to offer.
Yeah.
So when I ask myself that question, I think there's a lot of like construction videos or like DIY how-to type videos
that are out of focus. Focus your freaking cameras, people. I don't know what you're looking at when you pick up the car hood, and all I see is a blur of metal. Sorry, that's
or lighting, right? So
Yeah.
just kind of the basics of videography, AVL, audio visual lighting, right? So I'm trying to bring like a high, like trying to be super clear.
Sorry,
Trying to be super clear about how I explain and present things. So just assuming that like terms I use that people don't know, trying to take a moment to just explain them and make them super clear. So whenever I'm talking about like XPS, I'm like, what is that, right? A lot of construction is I take this acronym, apply it to this acronym, put it together in this assembly, and it makes this acronym. And everyone, you're like, what? Like if you've never heard that, that's super confusing.
Extreme Power Board Shuffleboard. XPS.
And it's
not
really,
at all what that means.
and it's really isolating too
Yeah.
for people who aren't in the know about that. And so basically just trying to have the heart of a teacher and explain XPS, which is extruded polystyrene, and just like defining terms all the time.
Yeah.
And people might be like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a foam that's used for insulating. It's a closed cell foam that's used for insulating in construction. And so just like being super, like that's just one example, but being super clear about that is one of the things I'm trying to offer. And then the other is just a high like production value. So like these are highly produced and well edited. Like there's totally ones where you can tell someone just like locked the camera off on a tripod.
Yeah.
And just like filmed a half-hour video that probably only needed to be like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And so
high production value. What I hear you say when you say that is clear audio, good lighting.
Yeah.
So AVL, good audio, good lighting, and good video. That's what I understand. Like clear video.
Right.
Is that what you mean by high production quality?
Yeah. And then a couple other things when I think of production quality, I think of pacing.
Okay.
So if you ever like sit down and actually watch a television show, you will be surprised at how many camera changes and angle changes there are.
Oh, dude, it's like every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
At least.
There is hardly a shot that's longer than 5. Those shots are super rare.
Yeah.
And
if it is, it's either moving usually and following someone.
Yeah.
It's never like just a still shot for 5.
Yeah. And so a little secret about filming is that if you are changing the view or the point of view or the angle or the focus of the shot a lot of times, because a lot of times I'm locked off on a tripod because it's just me and that's how I'm filming. But even then, if you're changing your frames a lot, people don't even notice as much. They're not like, oh, some guy's just, this is kind of boring, nothing's happening, because they see movement. So it gives the illusion of movement without really having movement. And so trying to figure out how to do that, trying to do things that are a little more cinematic. So things like adding B-roll or close-up shots of stuff.
Gotcha.
B-roll,
that's like the little close-ups, the little different angles, the little like weird camera shots that kind of.
Exactly. So I might be pulling out a measuring tape and measuring a piece of foam, right, that I'm going to cut, or the place where the foam is going to go. So a B-roll in that segment might be something like showing the tape measure up close where the numbers, where they can see it, and actually showing like just a shot of a little bit of the tape measure in my hand with the pencil marking that line. Or so it's basically, right, which is a lot more interesting if you have a lot of shots like that are varied as you're explaining something, rather than just like a shot that's 10 feet away and you're kind of watching this guy pull out a tape measure and you can't really see what he's doing. So it adds a lot more complexity to the editing process because you're having to film all of those little shots. So essentially I'm doing everything twice. I've got a backup shot that's far out, and then I've got some of the close-up ones that I'll splice in there. But so things like that, things about like.
So is that stuff that you develop on your shot list, your B-roll too?
Not so much. That stuff I kind of wing actually.
Okay.
So it's like this. My shot list becomes, here are the things that I need to get, and then like that's a helpful almost outline. And I think that provides me with just enough structure so when I do get lost in my head a little bit as I'm shooting, it's actually like productive rather than like tangential to something else.
Okay.
Because I might be like, so it would be an example. I'm like, oh, I'm like using a caulking gun and some silicone to caulk the seam. I should do a whole video on how to use a caulking gun.
Yeah.
In case someone's never, because I realize like, oh, that's an assumption I'm making about the audience, is that they know how to use this tool. And maybe they don't.
They get it at the store and the tip's still on and they're like,
what do I do with this thing?
How are these people, I'm squeezing and nothing is, it's very,
Yeah. And I think I thought of that because there was this guy when I was at the hardware store, Menards, asking me,
Save big money at Menards. They're one of our sponsors. Thank you, Menards, for giving us that gracious sponsorship.
thanks, Menards. Totally kidding about that.
Yeah. Hopefully though. I mean, putting it out there.
But there's a guy there who, I don't know if I just looked like I knew stuff, but he just asked like, hey, what is this? Or how do I use it? And so I don't know. I'm like,
in the future, you're going to be like, go to youtube.com/
yeah, just here's my YouTube channel.
Mike's Construction.
But so I just had a really good conversation about it, and wasn't like, oh, you're stupid because you don't know how to use this, and this is a basic thing. It was like, I actually enjoy explaining that type of stuff. And so, yeah, just thinking about that as well. I was like, am I assuming that people know what I'm talking about? And so one of the things that like, I have maybe this shot list of, I need to get this, and then I allow, which gives me enough structure to stay focused, but then gives me enough creative freedom to fill in the gaps. So then one of the things I think through is like, then I start like in my mind, like populating B-roll segments of like, what could I get a close-up shot of? How could I show this in a different angle? And then it sort of allows me like there's like both structure, there's enough structure and enough flexibility that it allows me to create.
I have an idea for you.
Yeah.
That I want to get your take on. I wonder, this is as I'm trying to think of how we can make this more efficient. Though I know, I'm just throwing this out here, folks. Okay. I wonder if you could have, what do you think about this idea? If you have like 5 templates of how would I describe this? Like you identify, I don't know how many. I'm just going to say 5.
Sure.
But you identify 5 different templates where each template is composed of different order of shots that you like, that you've seen in like other videos or that you've done yourself.
Yeah.
So like that involves the B-roll. So then you can like come to an area and say, I'm gonna do template 1 for this time, and so automatically I'm gonna need a close up of here. I'm gonna need a moving close up of here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need a far. You get what I'm saying? Because there's like people do that really well where they're like, you see that like with coffee when people are grinding coffee or but like you could identify like, okay, these are the different types of shots they're using and how they're ordered, and that's template 1. And this is a template 2 and template 3, template 4, template 5. Just like, what do you think about that? Thoughts?
I think that's a great idea.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I like it. I should do it.
Because then that might make you, like, that would still.
And I should maybe even do that as you're talking about that, I'm thinking like I should do that for videos as a whole. Because sometimes I just haven't sat down and actually defined the goal well enough. Like literally sat down and said, what do I want someone to know at the end of watching this? How do I want them to be entertained? What do I want them to walk away feeling? Do I want them to feel encouraged? Do I want them to feel the freedom that they can do this themselves, right? Like that kind of encouragement and empowerment of like, hey, like we all started somewhere. Like there was a time where I had no clue how to operate a saw, and that's totally okay if that's where you're starting.
I was using the flat edge.
Yeah. So, it's like, what is the actual goal, and what am I trying to produce in someone else with this content? And I think thinking through that more, and then I can come up with, if I find like, oh, here's what I'm trying to do and here's what I'm trying to achieve, here's a template that will get me there, and just sort of like,
yes, because
figuring out like
different templates will do different things.
Yeah.
Some are going to be more entertaining. Some are going to be more.
Exactly. And that's where, so this type of stuff that we're talking about, this is where I realized, like looking back, it probably would have been good to take a video all the way through the process of filming, editing, post-production, and actually making it live.
Gotcha.
Because then I can see, right?
Yeah.
I can see like, oh, I did these 4 how-to videos, and for some reason, this one is achieving, it's like reaching way more people. And then asking why. Is it because it's a more interesting topic? Is it because it's a more search topic?
Yeah.
Or is it because there's actually something about the way that I shot or created or edited or made that video, or something I said or didn't say that actually makes that piece of content more effective and more helpful? And ultimately just asking the question, like, how can I be most helpful? And then deciding.
Right, because you can see when people stop watching on YouTube your video, like when it drops off.
Yeah, you can see all of that is once you have like a large enough viewer base. And so that type of feedback would probably be
Or the comments people leave, and yeah.
Yeah, would probably be good to inform what makes sense to do next. So
Cool. Dude, I'm excited.
thanks, man.
Yes, I might want to do that. I'm just thinking through the template thing.
Yeah.
Because there's like certain shots that I see and I'm like, dang, that was so good. That looks so good.
Yeah. Yep.
But I could break it down and replicate it.
Mm-hmm.
Not the exact shots, but like the type of shot.
Yeah, the type of shot, what it's doing. Like, what are they actually doing with the camera, and what is it actually achieving?
Yeah.
And how does it help tell the story of that video? So that's good.
Then we'll create a YouTube channel about the types of shots.
Yes.
And we'll inform people we'll create the top 10 template shots to have a sweet edutainment video.
Gosh, edutainment.
Have you ever heard that?
No, I haven't. That's funny though.
Not educational, it's edutational. Edutainment? I don't know, whatever.
You heard it here first. I don't know. Maybe we just stole that from somewhere.
Yeah, I took it from somewhere.
Okay, never mind.
Everything here is stolen from somewhere.
Yeah, everything. Nothing is new under the sun.
Nope. It's from the good book.
Amen. Any other thoughts? Work, templates. What else have we talked about this morning? Yeah, maybe that's a tip that we leave everyone with. If you find yourself doing something multiple times, if you ever have to do something more than 3 times, it's probably worth taking the time to create a template.
Yeah. I'm just thinking through templates now as it relates to coaching. I'm like, I wonder if there's different problems that I'll encounter that a different template of asking questions would help people more than I don't know. Yeah. I'm so early in the beginning process of getting reps in with practicing coaching that I don't know that, but maybe being aware of it will help me develop patterns of that. So yeah.
Good thoughts.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been the Daily 3.
The Daily 3.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.